this is Truck Driver Mike coming back at you from inside the truck. As you can see, it's snowing outside. Gotta drive in the snow. Just like in the summer, we get to drive in the sunny, nice days. We gotta drive in the snowy, cold, wintry, not so nice days. Part of the job. We gotta go out and drive, even if it's dangerous. Of course, if you're highly trained and highly skilled, such as myself, it's not really a big deal. But how do you get to the point to where you're highly trained and highly skilled? You got to find someone that'll train you the right way, give you the right kind of training, and then allow you to practice until you're good. The problem with the trucking industry is they give you only a little bit of training. You only get a little bit of training, then they stick you in a truck and say, there you go, you're on your own. Start delivering loads. And so you're really learning to hone your craft, so to speak, on the job training. Self-taught at that point. Try to do it without smacking up the equipment or getting hurt or being late. How do you know how far you can push the truck in the snow if you don't get out and do it? Well, while you're making a delivery, that's not the time to really practice that or to test it out. You really don't get a chance to practice or test, become proficient at certain, maneuvers. Such as blindside backing. I wasn't very good at the first few times I did it, but I took one of the company trucks way back when. And practiced out in the yard. Just a couple of the old trailers hooked up and practiced blindside. Practiced for a few hours. Boss thought I was nuts. But I got to understand how the truck handles in tight quarters. I got to, understand how to maneuver, which in later years paid off really well when I had to go into the downtown Chicago area with a big 53-foot van trailer and a full-blown condo sleeper and maneuver this truck around in small, narrow city streets crowded with traffic and pedestrians, low bridges, tight corners, buildings that were almost impossible to get to. That all paid off because I practiced earlier. I could get into those tight spots, blindside around a telephone pole and back inside a building without really seeing where I'm going. That took practice. And do all of that without smashing things up, without, tearing trailer doors off and such. So, now I'm the excellent truck driver I am today because of that practice. The new kids, they don't get that. Unless you've got someone who's willing to sit down and take the time with you. You go through a truck driving school, which I think is 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Some of that's on the road, some of that's book stuff. Some of it's just walking around learning to do DOT inspections, what different components on a tractor or a trailer are, that sort of stuff. That's all stuff you got to learn. But the actual driving stuff, yes, they take you out. They want you good enough to pass the DOT test, road test, so you can get your CDL license, and then you're on your own. Your learning then comes... Yeah. Your learning then comes on the job. When you pull into some warehouse and you got to back into a tight spot, it might take you 10 or 15 minutes because you're not really sure how to do it and you're not good at it. So you jerk back and forth, dinking around, trying to get the trailer to go where you need it to go. if you're good with spatial and time relationships, space and time, good motor coordination, that sort of stuff, you'll pick up on it fairly easily. It's not super complicated. Driving a truck's not complicated. It's not rocket science. You do have to be good at it, but it's not rocket science. You don't have to be a super brainiac like me. But that being said, it does take practice like everything else you do. Much just like riding a bike. Or playing baseball, being able to hit the ball when it's pitched to you, or to catch the ball when it's thrown. Takes practice. So, truck driver Mike out here driving in the snow on a Saturday night. Doing all right. Holding my own, not having any problems.